Yeah, I love the fact that there's so much automation and AI capability built in the platform, allowing some decision to be made by machine in order to help some of those integration, the self healing. I think this is really a good example of uh, how a platform is actually making life better, right? So this is really a great success story for me. Now, if we think about other people, company listening to us here and trying to put ourselves in their shoes, so they hear that story, they understand how much impact we can have by implementing and selecting the right iPaaS platform, the right integration platform. I would say, for me, if I zoom out, um, I would like to understand, maybe a question for both of you. Why is this type and level of integration so critical for retail and supply chain today? Maybe Ashutosh, you can start.
Yeah. So Oliver, what I think is that today's operations across various organizations are real time, they are multi-channel and disruption prone as well. So whether it is like synchronizing e-commerce inventory with warehouse inventory or responding to geopolitical disruptions, companies need constant orchestration between various applications, right? And those applications span from very back end of the supply chain to the very front end where you are interacting actually with your customers, right? So integration is no longer just a back end task anymore. It is pretty much the strategic pillar of resilience and competitiveness, the backbone which is making all these applications work cohesively together.
Mhm. Great. I think this is really, really important for people listening to us here to understand the impact at the strategic level, but also at the operational level. Maybe Donovan, what's your take on that point?
Yeah, I mean, Ashutosh did a really good job of explaining that. So, um, yeah, I don't really know what I can add there. I mean, he's right. Anymore, it is at the forefront. Used to be integration was the thing behind the scenes. No one thought about it. You didn't touch it much. Uh, but these days, geopolitical, all of these things that are happening current day, we're changing rapidly. Um, and the technologies that are out there. I mean, we have people that are going off to trade shows and coming back and saying, "Hey, there's this new platform. There's a new app that new chat app that we can use. We want to look at this. We want and a lot of data being provided to our customers through chatbots, things like that, where this ACOM allows us to quickly assess that and integrate it. Um, and even in the lower environments, even if just the assessment state, right? We can spin something up, we can try it and go, yeah, it's not a good fit. Um, so, but we can move through multiple platforms quickly, and just try multiple things. Before, like I said before, it was so expensive and so time consuming. We had to pick something and say that's definitely what we're going with, and we're going to stick with that. But now we have that flexibility to kind of try something, and if it doesn't work out, that's fine, and we just move to the next thing. So we're not. I don't feel like we're locking ourselves into other technologies that maybe aren't a good fit anymore because we're so flexible now. We can try things, um, which is great. With the marketplace, if you look out there now, there are so many apps being developed, so many new applications being developed every day. It's just nice to be able to try things out quickly and shift and see how it can grow us overall.
Yeah. I think if I may add here, you said, Donovan, at the beginning, and I think this is really something important, right, for company listening here. You said that the previous way of working was so uh, let's say, had some reliability and consistency issue, and therefore that led to trust issue. And now that you have a proper platform that is probably bringing uh, back that trust that was gone before. Right? You mentioned people are starting to come back. People are starting to uh, want to do project with that platform. Integration is not anymore a issue in terms of generating some problem internally, generating some problem externally. The supply chain is very reliable, it's very consistent, it's very real time, and I think this is really a key point here, right? By having the right iPaaS platform, trust is absolutely critical when we talk about supply
Yeah.
chain. I don't know if you want to add to that, Donovan, but I think this is a key point.
No, you're right. Because if there is no trust, if your end users, if your customers don't see that they can trust you anymore, they will start looking elsewhere. And with the end users, it's more of like for us, our CSRs who are talking to our customers, if they're fighting with the system and they have a negative view of the system, that comes through. If they don't feel like they can trust what they're seeing on the screen in front of them, it comes through and the customer picks up on that. And if, as a customer, if you're saying, well, if they don't trust it, why can I trust it? you know,
Exactly.
that's key this day. There's so much competition in every market these days. You know, you have one thing that you can offer to your customer is that trust. If you can gain that relationship and that trust, they're
Yeah.
going to keep coming.
Yeah, 100%. So for me, I think one final takeaway here, right, for people starting their integration journey, struggling with integration, lack of trust, lack of reliability, lack of consistency, looking for let's say automation and AI to be injected in the environment so they can free up some time to do other things. Uh, the question I have for both of you here is, what should businesses uh, take away about the role of integration, now in 2025 and beyond, right? So how would you describe the evolution of integration, and maybe Donovan to help you, right? I People who don't understand, they see that as very complex set of plumbing, that
Mm-hmm.
kind of leaks everywhere and don't work, with plenty of pipes everywhere, right? How do you see
Right.
it?
Yeah. I mean, these days, most people are not running big monolithic applications anymore, right? Um, you're running a pretty complex environment, lots of microservices, um, and the integration layer. Because it used to be the big scary thing. Like you said, a lot of pipes leaking everywhere. Maybe it worked, maybe it didn't work. Maybe it worked yesterday, but not today. And but today, integration it is at the forefront. It is the tool that's going to allow you to do so much more. Um, anything you can think of, really, you can find a solution through an integration layer, a good integration layer. You should be able to go out and say, okay, I want to do X, Y, Z, and these things are available to you. Uh, and with the introduction of the automation and the AI that exists in ACOM, it is easy. Integration shouldn't be scary. You shouldn't have to have a team of 50 people who all they do is keep that integration layer running. It it should just be there. It is at the forefront as far as like availability to you to do these things, um, and be able to see and prove that all of your stuff is working. For me, that's key, because I'm kind of a behind the scenes IT guy, but I need to be able. If someone walks into my office and says, "How do you know things are working?" I can show them right now. I can see all the transactions going through. Um, I think people just have to kind of think about integration in a little different way. It's not scary. It's also with ACOM, it's a great way to, if you're a company that doesn't have any investment in AI right now, but you're looking for how can I get AI in my organization, here's an easy route because the AI is there, and it's kind of your foot in the door to see what AI can do for you, um, without the big scary what if AI takes off and then goes crazy. You don't have to worry about that here because it's a well thought out, well built platform, and and these guys know what they're doing, so it just works really well.
Yeah, and I would agree with you. This is really becoming something that uh, needs to be flagged as critical, needs to be flagged as strategic. The speed of change, the rate of change is accelerating a lot. Being able to rewire your company, being able to pivot without too much effort is absolutely critical. It's a competitive edge, and
Yes.
having an iPaaS platform, most of the people don't see it as something that is really critical, but it is. Your capability to rewire your company very quickly to adapt to change is absolutely critical and a huge competitive edge. This is for me very clear, and I hope people listening to us understand that. Ashutosh, what's your take on that?
I completely agree with what you just mentioned, Oliver and Donovan. So integration is very much now the nervous system of a modern enterprise, if you ask me, right? Like, it's a thinking layer, right, which is not just a bridge, but it is taking dynamic decisions that orchestrates how systems, data, and people work together in real time, right? And it allows you that agility, where, for example, if tomorrow for certain decisions you want to introduce an AI agent in the overall ecosystem, you can seamlessly do that. Or you want to introduce a chatbot, it allows you to seamlessly do that, in the overall workflows that you would have defined, right? So it is a critical component of making businesses agile, intelligent, and future ready, in my opinion.
Yeah, I fully agree. And I would say, as a closing comment, I want to highlight something that um, we highlight a lot, which is uh, the perception is that many AI products do not have a positive ROI and do not achieve major impact. I think here, as you said, Donovan, right? This is a very great example of how AI embedded in an iPaaS platform is really achieving result and really delivering positive return on investment, both at the number level, top and bottom line of the P&L, at the KPI level, but also at the people level, right? So I think this is a very interesting area for people listening here to deep dive into, to understand what's the situation in your company, and to consider using a state of the art iPaaS platform to totally revamp how integration, think about the plumbing, the wire of your company is being done. With that, I would like to close here. I would like to thank Donovan for his time today, and for this great story and use case that he shared with us. Very happy that now you have gained some precious hour to go do cool stuff again. And
Yeah.
I would like to thank Ashutosh as well for articulating to us what the platform is doing and what it can bring to the table. So, with that, thank you, and talk to you soon.
Thank you, Oliver, for having us here.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.